like I sort of lost the love a little bit.
Who's the best hill?
It sort of still doesn't feel like ruined away like that.
So you're happy when Ross came back to the footy club?
Yeah, definitely.
Given that you're close to it?
I definitely had my best years of footy at Freo, like personally.
The Hill brothers became the first siblings to play against each other in a grand final since 1912.
It was a dream to always play footy with my brother.
Who's emergency?
You want to play? You want to play? Because if you're not ready, I've got someone else waiting here who's ready.
Rightio, ladies and gentlemen, BackChat 2025. Very lucky to have this man in studio. He's currently playing over in Melbourne for St Kilda. He's over here for the Indigenous All-Stars game. Bradley Hill joins us. Hello, Hilly. How are you, mate?
Bradley.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Anytime.
Look, I know your name's Bradley. Mine's William, but is it Brad? Is it Bradley? Is it Hilly? Tell me.
I reckon growing up I was mainly Bradley.
Yes.
In footy, a bit of Hilly and Bradley. Yeah.
Right. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I'll do.
If you don't know me, it's probably Brad, but yeah.
All right.
As long as I don't offend you with any of
No,
those.
call me whatever you want.
I'm excited, Scott. You know why? I've just looked down at our little sheet of things about Brad here.
Yes.
Grew up in Girraween.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Straight off the bat.
I didn't grow up in Girraween, but I think I was born in like Stirling or whatever. My mum and dad are like from KGB, if you want to call it.
KGB. Yeah.
Like, mum went to Girraween High, and so did my dad. Dad grew up in like Kandoola, but I grew up in Clarkson.
This is Dan's neck of the woods.
So I'm a Marangaroo boy.
Yeah,
I grew up in Marangaroo and very familiar with the KGB. Got pepper sprayed by
what the hell is the KGB? Is that the guys
Kandoola, Girraween, and Balga.
Is these guys that jumped you?
Yeah. Alexander Heights Domino's Pizza, man. They jumped me and pepper sprayed me.
That's all we've got time for the interview. Very good.
You definitely don't look like you belong there.
No, I don't.
Right. Now, Healy, I'm sure you know this, but if you don't, we ask the same question to every guest that comes on this show. It's the greatest sporting achievement, thanks to TABtouch. By the way, Paywise powering the podcast this year in 2025 once again. Your greatest sporting achievement. Now, look, we know you can play football. You have one of the great rap sheets of all time at AFL level, 3-time Premiership player, best and fairest winner, 250 games AFL level. Clearly you can play footy, and we'll get into that. But I want to know your greatest sporting achievement not on the AFL football field. Like, yeah, you can play footy. Cool. So can lots of people. What else can you do?
We've all done it.
We want to know your greatest sporting achievement. If you need some time to think, there's a little trophy back here, Dan Const.
That's mine from Chute Hill Cricket Club days.
You've never told this story.
5 wickets for 16 runs in a grand final.
I was the state under 8 80-metre hurdle champion. Also, state under 10s flags champion. Yes, that's right, son.
Done a bit, mate.
I was quick as, mate, back in the day.
No, well, to be honest, other than footy, I actually wasn't. I didn't really do too many other things. Like Stephen was the one who was good at everything.
I don't want to know about Stephen.
But not me. I was shocking at everything.
I don't want to know about Stephen. You must have done something.
No, maybe like running away from police.
No, come on. No. We know what you guys north of the river get up to.
To be honest, other sport and stuff probably like just athletics and stuff like.
What are we talking?
Stuff like
School
that.
champion.
Yeah, every year primary school I didn't lose. Year 4, 5, 6, 7 didn't lose.
Yes.
Once I got to high school, everyone passed me because everyone developed and I was still this little kid.
Is that right?
But primary school didn't lose anything. Inter school, like cross country, I was always winning everything.
What was like your favourite event, like longer stuff? Or
I'll rather like the 100 metres and all the shorter stuff, but I was always pretty good at the longer stuff as well. I won like cross countries and stuff like that.
KGB district champion, 100 metre, undefeated till year 7.
It's actually Clarkson, mate. I grew up in Clarkson.
Okay.
North.
No, that's good. Yeah. I like that. Very good. All right, let's talk about growing up. We know you got a brother, Stephen, but what was it like growing up? Like sporting family?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we all like my mum loves her sports and loves footy, so she pretty much straight away put us into footy. I got 4 sisters as well, so they were a bit of netball, soccer, but my mum's just obsessed with footy. And we were West Coast fans growing up, so mum would take us to games every now and then to Subiaco. With our number 9 Guernseys on for obviously Benny Cousins, and always loved footy. From Auskick growing up and that, loved it. But I never really took it too serious, to be honest. Like I was, even like when I was 17, I was still playing like for Queens, my local team, for most of the year. So,
is that right?
Like I just love being out there with my mates and just having fun. So, definitely grew up always around sports and always sort of loved competing.
Do you think like, looking forward now, you've played 250 games of AFL, like the playing with your mates, Like, do you reckon when you're playing your best footy, you still sort of like feel that? It's like when you're playing your best, it's like playing with the boys and sort of
Yeah, definitely.
forgetting about what you're actually doing in the middle of the G or...
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's always like, awesome going out there and playing like with your mates and stuff. And I reckon when I was at Freo, like obviously having Sonny and my brother, like people that you're really close with and like sort of like just how much you enjoy the week and, going out there playing with those blokes that you're really close with, like you just have fun and you sort of have those connections out in the field. So, definitely that's why you love it, playing with, with your friends and your mates and just going out there and having fun with each other.
We've got an audience today, Dan. Probably should be worth noted. Son Walters is sitting in the background sledging Hilly as we go. So it's like the dad sitting in the back, like losing his son, no, you stuffed this up. Make
sure you talk about me saying in the car.
Yeah. So tell us how good of a teammate was Sonny Walters. Cool. So, all right. So you didn't take footy seriously, but doing a bit of research for this one. And it was funny, we're talking about it on the podcast about different rumours around clocking the beep test. There was always this rumour when I was a footy player, Robert Harvey, like, beat the beep test, which never happened. And, like, we listened to, like, level 25 beep test. You're not running that. However, beep test champion at draft camp.
Yep.
Bradley Hill, correct?
I think the record was there for like 10 years. So Jeremy Bay had it before me. He's a fair bit older than me.
And then you broke the record, did you? What did you do?
I ran like 16.3.
That's pretty quick.
I just sort of like, Will Hosking was with me and he finished and I just went up and back and just stopped.
Oh, so you could have kept going.
I probably could have gone to like 20 or something. But, it's actually funny story, like the reason Hawthorn sort of say why they picked me up, because I had like an interview with them like the day before, like the beep test, and they were asking me, what do you got to run in the beep test? And I said, I reckon I'll get 16, because I did like a 15.5 in WA like the week before, sort of like a little trial.
Yeah.
And the record was 15.3 at the time, and they sort of had a little bit of a giggle, but I actually ended up doing it. And
is that right?
The reasons why they said they picked me up.
So they laughed at the I know how these go. So they had a bit of they were like, 16, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh really? And I was like, yeah, I think I should do that like comfortably.
That's good. So did you ever follow up on that? Did you ever get to chat to them about that?
Yeah, they spoke about it a few times. Yeah, it's been definitely, there's been occasions where, it's been spoken about in front of a group of people and stuff like that. Because, to be honest, even before like draft camp, I was hoping I'd be like a rookie or something. Like only really spoke to like North Melbourne, like maybe we're rookie year and stuff like that. Because I didn't play much footy in the state team. I only played like 15 minutes over the carnival and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't sure how I'd go, and obviously I think draft camp did help me a lot with some of the running stuff I did.
So West Coast fan growing up, brothers playing at Fremantle, and you get drafted by Hawthorn. Like, what's the first feeling like? And you can be like, was it oh shit, I wish I was staying home, or were you excited, or?
Yeah, well, I wanted to stay in Perth because I did have there was a little bit of maybe West Coast and maybe Freo. So right. West Coast had like pick 28, they took Fraser McGuinness, I think.
Oh, he's a good man, Fraser.
Yeah,
different player.
Yeah, different player, and then Freo's next pick was like 54, so I was hoping 54, but I actually went 33, so I went a while before the Freo one. So I wanted, like, as a young kid, you want to stay home. And then, like, it was funny because Hawthorn was like, the Melbourne team I love was Hawthorn, I think, because a lot of Indigenous boys love watching Cyril and Buddy.
Yeah. Yep.
So sort of follow them a little bit. And I was obviously very happy to get picked up, but then, like, I got drafted on a Thursday night and I had to move on the Saturday. So I had 2 days to, pack up all my stuff as an 18-year-old and leave home.
What was that like?
Yeah, that was hard. Like it was emotional, like leaving straight away and like going to live with someone that you don't even know. Like, I live with a teammate for a couple of weeks, but then moving into a host family. So I think the host family though did help me a lot throughout my first year because it's sort of like having parents like they help you cooking, teaching how to do your washing and stuff. And I actually ended up staying there for like 2.5 years, and I still got a very good relationship with them now. But yeah, definitely, it was hard to leave at first.
Were you living with all your brothers and sisters before you moved over?
Yeah.
So you would have been crazy household before you go.
Yeah, crazy household and a pretty small house with like 8-9 people in there.
There you go. And so then you got to go live with two basically strangers. How long does that take a while to sort of get used to living with these people? Yeah,
well, I think going in the host family as well, I went with another young bloke who got drafted. He was just a regional sort of Victorian, like country boy. So having him go with me sort of made it pretty easy. Like we're both there learning together. And he only lasted a year, and I loved it there, so I stayed. But I think that like makes it a little bit easier for you, like having like sort of like a parent looking after you. I loved it, and it definitely made the transition easier for me.
You're doing better than Shannon Hearn. I think Shannon Hearn's still living with his host. I'm going to stay with his
for free as well.
Mate, he's stayed there for 8 years.
Really?
He's in Duncraig for 8 years, and he still goes around there. I'm pretty sure he gets his washing done still. he's like 45.
That's crazy.
So, interestingly enough, hearing about who you followed growing up, and I don't know whether to get into it now, but I had a little bit of intel on you coming into this one. Apparently, you got very good game recollection, or at least I don't know. I don't know exactly how it worked, but someone tells me you've got great game recall. So you know who you debuted against?
Yep, West Coast.
The West Coast Eagles. So what's that? I mean, that one's an easy one.
To be honest, I think maybe Clarko. Because in that first year, I only played 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
And I reckon he obviously gifted me a couple of games just to sort of see how I'd go. And that's when they had that sub rule. And I do remember it was the worst 5 minutes. No joke.
What?
Like, I just remember coming out and it was just like, everything was just like fuzzy and I like couldn't feel my legs. And like, it was like, and I got the ball, I had like a little bit of a fumble or like I handballed it. And I'm pretty sure it was a turnover. Then Jack Darling kicked the goal like to win the game. And I was sort of like, it's still like a few minutes to go after it, but like I remember like this sort of stuffing the handball up, and it was like the only touch I had for the 5-6 minutes I was on. But I remember just like running around. I was like, this doesn't feel real, and like my legs and like playing against West Coast blokes that I obviously used to watch and love watching them play, and sort of being out there with them all. Like it was, I still remember it was the weirdest feeling ever, but yeah, it wasn't a great one.
Yeah, I don't think that's like. I think there'd be a very small percentage of guys that play their first game and just think, oh, like this is just normal. Like hearing that, like it makes me think about my first game. Like I was at Telstra Dome back in the day, and there was no sub back in the day, but I didn't come on till like halfway through the second quarter. Yeah, because I was very minimally involved with the West Coast side at that stage. And I was out there and got told to come to the bench, and I ran to the wrong side. I had no directional, I had no idea what was going on, and it's a weird feeling because you've like played footy forever, and to be out on a footy field and you feel like you can't even run.
Yeah. I felt dizzy out there. I was like, what's going on?
Do you remember the score of that game?
Nah, but I know West Coast won by like maybe 1 or 5 points.
It was 5 goals 21 to 5 goals 16. Brutal game.
Yeah, it was wet.
That the game? It was wet. At Subi?
Yeah. West Coast win by 5. So
know that
Darling
game
kicks
very well.
one goal.
He kicked that last goal at the end.
Yeah. And there was only 5 goals for the game on the West Coast. Brutal game to be a part of for your first one.
So that was 2012. That was your first game.
Yeah.
My old man passed away 3 days before that game, and I played in that one.
And you played in that one?
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, as soon as that scoreline come up, I was like,
you remembered it?
Yeah, because it was a bit of I reckon, because you boys are pretty, like, you were starting to warm up there, right? That's 2012.
Yeah.
You go on a 3-peat after this.
That's probably their best year.
Yeah. And 12, you boys were good. And I remember thinking, Dad's just put the waterworks on here because it was absolutely, I've never seen worse weather in my life.
It was shocking.
Blowing a gale, like gale force winds across the ground, piss and rain the whole day.
That's so
and
funny.
what was it?
521 to 516. West Coast was 0 goals 12 at half time.
You don't see that anymore, do you?
Nah.
That's bloody good. So yeah, like we said, 2012 is your first year, and then little do you know, but you've rolled into a side like 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't know how many games you won and lost, but you're winning a lot of games.
Yeah, I still remember I reckon they had like this little like winning percentage in the AFL, and it was like 5 us Hawthorn boys, and we were like high 80s to 90% sort of winning.
Your first
percentage in like my first 5 years,
which is,
and then I sort of went.
well, yeah, but you don't. When you're playing at the time, like I know now, you know what AFL like, but like if you think about those first 4 or 5 years, you must just be like, well, this is how it works. You play and you win.
100%.
And
you lost 8 times in 3 seasons. 8 games you lost.
That's pretty crazy, eh?
Unbelievable.
I do remember I still remember prelim, and you win them after everyone like, what the hell, we've done it again. Like, how do we keep doing this, Like,
because you're a young man at that stage.
Oh, yeah. It was more like, I just thought this is what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know anything any different. And obviously it doesn't. But I still remember like how lucky it was to be a part of, at the right time, But and obviously I was lucky enough to get into that side. And probably positions sort of open up too in the wing positions. Like a few of the older boys left, like Chance Bateman finished up. Clinton Young went to Collingwood, and really all they had was Isaac. And because not many young boys came into that side, pretty much stayed the same side the whole time. So, I was lucky.
It looked like Clarko really valued your like role playing ability. Like he gave you that wing, and I'm assuming you just said,
Me and Isaac
run.
Just
Right?
pretty much.
Just run.
And then Sam Mitchell make me cover his man.
Yes. Love a sledge for Mitch.
Who were the old boys that sort of looked after you when you first got there over those premiership years? Because I imagine if you're a really good team, you focus on winning so much, it must be hard to be like, oh, now we got to like look after these young guys too. Like it's so much focus on winning premierships.
Yeah, well, I think like everyone there was helped the younger boys develop, and even though they probably weren't getting many senior games, they definitely helped us, doing vision with the younger boys, the older boys, and helping them out in the track, doing extras and stuff with them. But ones that helped me, a lot of the boys helped me. Like I was, but like Cyril, I was the closest with. I was always with him on weekends, always at his house. And then Shawnee Burgoyne was like, the big uncle for all us indigenous boys, and him and his family always looked after us as well. And then, even like boys like Jordan Lewis, Roughhead, Mitch, Hodgie, like out in the field, just made it so much easier for me.
Well, they would have appreciated you in the team because they all had to run less. Like Hodgie, Lewis, Mitch. I mean, like
get him.
Yeah, correct. I know how it
And
works.
to Isaac as well.
Yeah, correct. So your second year, you're playing a flag. You can walk out for this, son, if you like.
Sorry, Sonny.
So 2013, the Hill brothers became the first siblings to play against each other in a grand final since 1912. So it's a little while ago.
Yep.
What's that like? Younger brother playing against his older brother in a grand final in effectively, first, second year of footy.
Yeah. I still like it. Sort of still doesn't feel like ruined away like that. We, you think about yourself being as a kid, and I always looked up to my brother, and loved watching him play footy. And when he got drafted, I was like, how cool my brother plays AFL, and things like. And you probably like once you get to AFL, you sort of expect you obviously got to play against each other a little bit, but playing in the grand final, like you don't even dream of like versing your brother in like a granny. And I guess for the family it was exciting. I guess for my mum, she was got to win either way sort of thing.
What was she
but
wearing?
also lose.
She had
my club actually made a half Hawks, half Freo Guernsey.
Right.
You're probably able to get a photo up there.
And look at this. This is nearly his first podcast. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, and it's definitely special and we did line up with each other at the centre bounce, so we're both on the wing.
Did ya?
I see him was trying to give me a couple of little bumps.
Well, that's what I want to know. Like, leading up, are you like on the phone chatting, or are you like, hey, mate, we're not talking?
He didn't talk to me. You know what Stephen's like? He's pretty reserved, and he definitely wouldn't. He wasn't speaking to me.
Like nothing, like good luck?
Nah.
Is that
nothing.
right?
So it's pretty much just once we saw each other, was out in the field.
So what happens there? I mean, you've grown up together.
He didn't say anything, but he was like, he was like trying to bump me and whatnot, and trying to hit me a little bit. But once first 5 minutes, there's a little bit of heat going on, but then it sort of settles, and start playing footy and focusing on your role and what you got to do.
What did he say to you after the game?
Yeah, is it emotional then? Like, as in, obviously,
as
you're happy.
Mate, you lost
1-1-2. Don't look at Sutton.
But like, I don't know, but I guess you're a bit emotional after you lose. My brother was a bit it was obviously like sad, and I actually felt sad for him as well, like seeing my brother upset, and obviously getting so close to winning one, and you lose. And I did have I remember times after I did win, I was like, I know, like we did win and you wanted to win, but I used to be like, fuck, I wish my brother was able to win one as well. And it was hard to sort of see him like that. And, I didn't know what to say, so I just gave him a hug and whatnot. And you don't really know what to say in those sort of moments. And sort of, like obviously I was very happy for myself, but I did feel a little bit for my brother.
How does this game recall work? Like, I'll just read you the quote from a text message I got, and it's from a former teammate of yours. You probably wouldn't be able to pick who it's from, but this one's a random one, but he has amazing game recollection. He can basically talk play by play through any of the grand finals. Is that correct?
Probably for grand finals. I feel like I know they're a bit of a blur, but then you also, I remember moments that you're sort of involved in.
Yeah, but it sounds like you've got a special talent. It sounds, I reckon you're underplaying this. Can you
what about the first goal for Hawthorn in 2013? You remember the first goal that was kicked?
Gunston?
I think so, yeah.
Do you know the answer?
I do.
Well, I know Freo lost a lot, but I think maybe Gunston was the first one. Was I involved in it?
Yeah, you were. I'm trying to lead you in to be able to.
Well, yeah, the ball came out of centre bounce, and I think I rolled, got a handball. Cam Sutcliffe was chasing me. I kicked it centre, and it sort of bounced, and he got near the point post and rolled and kicked the goal.
Right. So you've just taught play by play.
A little bit like, I do remember. Yeah, it was a quick kick out of centre bounce. I think I got a handball and then a quick kick.
Are you like that with other games, or is it like grand finals?
Hey,
you don't have to go through everything, but like, are you like that with?
Nah, I'm pretty good at remembering things in games, but I wouldn't say every game. But the big games I do remember, if you talk me through.
What's one that stands out to you? When we're asking about the game recall, is there a moment in your career that you love to replay in your head?
No, not really. Well, 2014 was a good one. Playing in that one, and I remember this a play I saw Hanbury spoiled me. I was going for a mark, and then I just bumped him out the way. And then I had 3 bounces. Lukey Parker was chasing me and he reached for me. And then Jets was behind. I was hoping Jets was coming. I wanted to have a little race. There's actually another one on the wing with me and Jets, and I sort of wish I took him on and see what happened. Yeah. He might have got me, but
did you kick goals in grand finals?
I kicked one in each. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I think all of them were in the goal square. 301, I'm not even lying, in the goal square, out the back. West Coast one was in the goal square, and then the other one was 20 metres out.
No help side.
Off ball run, mate. Off ball run.
It's it's just interesting. And it's funny. I know you're having a laugh, but the grand finals you played in, you win. So it's it's great memories.
Yeah.
And like you said, you don't know, but I don't remember anything from 2015.
And to be honest, I've actually never sat down and watched a whole game.
That's interesting.
Yeah, just sort of little bits of highlights that have been, when we won them, Clarko would put a little package together, sort of thing.
So now that you've played more years, you've out of Hawthorn, you played Freo and St Kilda now, and not saying about those clubs, but you know what it's like to lose. Yeah. Whereas your first 5 years you don't. Can you appreciate?
100%.
How bloody good you had it in your first 5 years.
Yeah, I was lucky. And then I think, when you come from that, and then you go to when you're struggling, you sort of think, what are the reasons why this is happening, or why can't we, do things? I don't know. I just think that team, when you think about the players that were in that team, there's a lot of stars, you know what I mean? And the way they were out in the field, it's made everything easier for everyone around them. Just you know what it's like when your communication's good, and blokes helping you set up, and everything's getting done by blokes around you and helping you. So you sort of makes it so much easier to get your role done.
And it's sometimes hard to put a finger on it. It's just kind of happening.
It's just happening, and just the way they could just problem solve on the spot. Sometimes it's tricky for players, and there's so many of them that could.
Because you're a senior player now.
Yeah.
So do you?
I feel I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of, the way we want to play and the roles of other blokes around me. So, and I do focus on that a lot, so I can help blokes that are close to me and make sure we're getting things done right.
There's always superstitions floating around grand finals.
Not me.
Is that right? Is that right?
No, I don't have anything.
Is that right?
I don't want to put too much. I feel like if I'm got a strict routine or anything like that, it puts too much pressure on you to nail it right every time.
Yeah,
I'm pretty relaxed.
Especially
now having kids, even more relaxed. So I don't know what they're going to be doing in the morning. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just get up, see what they want to do, go to the park, go for a walk. But yeah, I just keep it pretty cruisy.
So when did Buddy get traded to Sydney?
End of 13.
Right. So you played in Premiership in 13, and then you played against him in 14. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what's that relationship? Yeah, you're a winger, but you would have been great teammates with him, and then the very next year you're coming up against him. I know there was some back and forth out in the field.
No, for me, I just I only had the 2 years with him, but it was just awesome to be his teammate as any young player, being able to play
superstar
alongside Buddy Franklin, and which was awesome. And then when we played against him, to be honest, I didn't really care too much. I I'm guessing some of the other boys who were closer to him were a bit more going on with, like, Hodgie, what you would have saw, and Birchall. And
You're not giving him a kiss, are you?
Yeah, nah. But I guess as well, I think I sort of remember a little bit about the lead up, like as in how they got us done in 2012. I think that was a bit more important than the buddy sort of situation. So
Yeah.
I think that 2012 one, I think hurt them a lot because they felt like that was their best year.
Huh.
And then obviously got done on the day. But they had like 70 inside 50s, so like I think like high 40s. So they just going inside 50, they weren't great that day and just bombing it back in a straight line and
Yes.
weren't able to score.
Yes.
Where they weren't trying to shift the ball much. So
Yeah.
and then to get that back in 14, I think that was.
You would be able to, if we put together, we interviewed, excuse me, we interviewed Tom Hickey, who played at Gold Coast, West Coast,
Sydney,
St Kilda, and Sydney, right? And his team he was able to put together of teammates he played with was elite. Yours would be pretty bloody good too.
Like some of the other day, like,
is that right? Like some of the guys at Hawthorn, at Freo, at St Kilda, like you'd be able to build a very good
best
team.
22.
Yeah. My midfield would be pretty unstoppable.
Who would it be in it?
Well, you got Fifey, you got Sam Mitchell, Lockie Neal.
Yes.
To be honest, like the inside mid's at
How many Brownlows? Like 5 Brownlows in there.
the Freo midfield, inside mid is pretty crazy. Like the blokes I play with, like obviously Sam Mitchell and that were guns as well. But then like put like Sam, Fifey, Lockie, like Aaron Sandlands,
Even like a Mundy.
Yeah, Mundy. Yeah, 100%. Sonny reckons he'll jump in.
Sonny player, got off the bench.
Mid forward. But my team I could put together would be pretty good.
I reckon it'd challenge.
It'd probably
Regis.
rival. Yeah, I think so.
I think we might.
I'll probably have Hickey done, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon you would. Although he had like Gary Ablett was in his at Goldie. He had some good. I reckon we should build a Brad Hill best 22 v Reg Hickey best 22.
Yeah,
you reckon you'd have it done?
Oh no, you have to do it.
Oh yeah, we'll do it. I'll get it cleared off with you.
Sonny in the team.
Yes, absolutely. One of the great small forwards. Only bigger pest was Ballantyne to play on. All right, so 2013, 14, 15. Honestly, we're not talking about 15, but I'll give you one on 15. I'll give you one. So you grew up playing West Coast. So although you're 4 or 5 years into your career, like going and beating West Coast in a flat, like there's got to be some sort of your family's from Western Australia.
Yeah, I think that sort of changed once my brother went to Freo.
Good point. So you thought,
I sort of became a Freo supporter for a bit there.
Yeah, great. So fuck them, basically. Because you blokes just wiped us. And like that period, you basically wiped most teams. Freo was probably the most.
I still remember though when you guys smashed us in that first final.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then we got a bit of a bacon because we flew over for like business, all the boys. We were all happy laying in their chairs, and then we got smashed. And then we had to come back versus Freo, and Clark was like, everyone's sitting at the back of the plane.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Because that's the worst thing we ever did. Because we were like, I was rolling over to Melbourne. I just beat these guys in the grand final, no worries. And you blokes were just like, here we go, boys, come over. So they banned you from business.
Yeah.
Because you had to come back to Perth, didn't you?
Yeah, 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And seeing as Sonny's here, like you guys, it should have been a Derby grand final.
Imagine how big
you messed it up.
Imagine how
you
big
messed it up.
Could you imagine how big that would have been?
I mean, huge.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So talking about Freo, so 13, 14, 15, can't remember what happens in 16 at Hawthorn.
Lost to the Bulldogs. Oh no, we lost the Bulldogs and then lost to Geelong when Isaac was smiling. Remember having a shot for goal.
That's right. So you do have amazing game recall. You're just hiding it. Yeah, that's right. We spoke to Izzy a few weeks ago about that. Actually, gave him a fair bit of shit.
Yeah, but that's Izzy.
Correct. Oh mate, and he was very impressive. I hadn't really spoken to him. He seemed like a great leader. So 2017, you get traded to Freo. Homecoming, I don't know. What are your recollections about that period?
It was like it was a dream to always play footy with my brother. We didn't get to play too much footy together, to be honest.
That's his fault. Though.
Probably the best connection I built was with Sonny, and the way we, even on the field, the way we connected, and I definitely had my best years of footy at Freo, like personally.
You won the best and fairest your first year.
Yeah, and 17, and then 19 was probably a better season for me. Should have been all shot.
Yes.
That's when they were putting the midfielders out in the wing, and I was just out there dominating. Right. Yeah,
I've never understood that.
Yeah, so Yeah, and I sort of got told a couple of times from some people, but
Can
yeah.
you
nothing
say
happened.
who was on the wings in 2019? He probably knows, but it just...
No, I don't think I know. I reckon maybe it's probably some inside midfielders.
Anyway.
Have a look at my stats button.
So
yeah, Sonny's were pretty incredible.
So were you in All Australian?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Were you? Yeah, he's nodding away. So coming back, and I know you don't get to play as much with your brother as you would like because he was pretty injured towards the back end.
Well, I missed 1 year, 18. I hurt my knee, so I missed like 15 to 18 games.
That's pretty much the only season other than your first that you haven't played like 20 games. You've averaged 20 games across your career.
Yeah.
And most played everyone. You've been incredibly consistent.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. But to be honest, my body's, I don't know if it's genetics, lucky, I don't know, like touch wood yet. Like I just haven't really, besides that knee, where I think that's when the turf was shit at Optus. I sort of got caught and like my knee sort of like that. Other than that, I really only had the scapula from spoiling, mate. That's why I don't paint it back on.
You taught yourself a lesson, don't spoil.
But other than that, like obviously I get sore from, running and always like pretty domsy after games and stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I recover pretty well. It's not like I do any extra like recovery or more recovery than anyone else. I think my body adapts to the game pretty well and used to, running a lot, and that's what I do on field. And
probably a bit of luck, right?
A bit of luck, 100%. Like, I've been like, obviously I have throughout the season, I'm always in the physio room pulling up sore, and they call me Lazarus because I got something. I'm like, it's like I'm dying, and the next day I'm fine. One day I had a moon boot on for like 30 minutes, and then I was right.
Mate, you're making me think Liam Ryan did his hammy 1 week and like 8 weeks, like tendon, stretching off. Anyway, he bought this like emu oil in from one of his aunties or uncle, and he made the physios rub this stuff on him. It was training by Wednesday. It was like good to go. Scans are like hamstring torn, clients taking hangers to train and like kicking torps from 70.
He diagnosed himself. He didn't even get a scan yet.
It's just very good. Like even like Jet Boy played the 18 flag, had 2 torn calves, and genuinely torn. I remember,
he had a good day that day too.
Mate, I remember halfway through the third, I stood like hobbling a bit. I'm like, "You good, Jet Boy?" He's like, "Yeah, bro. I've done both my calves." I was like, "You good?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good, bro." So
That's right. We'll celebrate.
That was very good.
All right,
resilience.
So 2019, just a quick one. 2019 wingers.
God.
Marcus Bontempelli, Tim Kelly.
There you go.
I don't even know. That's just a big group of midfielders. The midfield is Cripps, Fife, Neil, Kelly, Bontempelli. It's just 5 on ball. That's just 5 on ballers. All right, good. That's a good discovery. You've had to get to Freo, play with your brother. What's Freo Ross compared to St Kilda Ross? Is there any difference?
Yeah, well, we're pretty young at Freo then. They were sort of back end of like when they were dominating and that. So I think those, like Sonny would probably know, probably a bit more ruthless then. But when I got there, there wasn't too much expectation of us, being that good. So like, I feel like he was back like then. He was pretty chilled as well. Like there'll be times, game days, he's always pretty edgy. Even still now, like on game day, you got to be looking at him. In the meeting before the game, if you've not got that eye contact, he'll call you out.
What would happen? So Jaiden, who you met, miss, who your boy saying he looked like? Banfield. Tom Banfield. So Jaiden, who's head of video, we had a meeting the other day and he yawned and it was audible. Like it was like, oh. What would happen if you did that in Ross Lyon's team meeting pre-game? If you threw out a, oh, what would happen? Like honestly. He'd drop you on the spot. Who's emergency?
Do you want to play? You want to play? Because if you're not ready, I've got someone else waiting here is ready.
Ever again for this club.
It wouldn't be a good look.
Yeah, I know, mate.
Or taking your shoes off after the game, taking your laces off when you're not paying attention.
Do you think, so you've had Clarkson, Lyon, any other head coaches?
Ratton.
So, I mean, not knowing much about Rats, but Lyon and Clarkson feel like pretty firm and hard, task masters.
Yeah.
But also caring behind the scenes. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. They're both, similar. They've been some of those, 5 or 6 coaches that have been around for, that 10 to 15 years sort of mark. So, they've obviously been very successful and good coaches. Both on that caring side, yeah, for sure. I find I probably got to. I definitely have a better relationship with like Ross. Me and Ross are pretty close, so and he has a pretty good, understanding of like a lot, like me, like my upbringing and like sort of obviously didn't have much growing up, and he's sort of he's sort of grown up like a little bit of that. Oh, not as bad, but like he has more like a lot of respect like, for people that sort of had a bit of a hard upbringing, like as in like we didn't have much money and stuff like that. Yeah. So, and he always wants to know your story and your family, and like even with my kids and stuff, like he loves them, and like my daughter, like after games, like she can come into meetings with us and this is like roll around the club and
so that's cool. No, people from the out, like even me who's been inside footy club, I wouldn't know that. I just see Ross Lyon, press conferences, he's calling out media, but there's a lot of care behind the scenes.
There is, definitely. And like I just go into his office and sit down, have like yarns, and like he's even good with like blokes. If he's want one-on-ones, just come into my office. I'm always there for a chat, and like he's easy, and I've just got a good relationship with him. Obviously, he's been my longest serving coach out of anyone. And it's just he definitely does have that soft side, and when you get to know him.
Was he a reason why St Kilda was the team? Obviously, you wanted to go back to Melbourne.
Nah, well, he wasn't there when I went. Right. I went back. It was. So
that was just
because my partner's from Melbourne too, so that was a big reasoning.
So you're happy when Ross came back to the footy club?
Yeah, definitely.
Given that you're close to it.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't. There was probably a time where I wasn't really enjoying it that much. And probably at like mid 2022 and stuff, I wasn't really liking it. And when Ross got there, I was pretty happy.
That's interesting. Well, it's interesting because like you look at your whole career and coaches are giving you a pretty specific role and not knowing like how things were going at the club. And I don't want to put you in a position to sort of speak about that, but the actual positive side is like Ross comes back, you got a great relationship with him, and you seem like someone who loves to like in a good way, like bit of love, but also like firm. Like this is what you got to do. This is what's expected of you.
Yeah,
and this is how you're going to be rewarded.
Yeah, and I think like having Ross and Clarko, like when you got like, I don't want to like. I'm not saying that thing about Rats, but like when they're in charge, like like they sort of not run the club, but they got a lot of control of the club and
expectations high.
And they sort of like set the sort of culture around the place, and like they're this very strong leaders, which I think you need at footy clubs, and like.
And you like that?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, sort of just the way they make a footy club run, and sort of how they bring the best out of all the players, and the expectation that they set for everyone.
Because Rats took over, right? Yeah. So what was that like when you're getting because he would have just been an assistant?
Yeah, well, because I had him at Hawthorn, so I knew him.
Right.
So Rats is a great guy, and he sort of had it hard too. Like we weren't playing that great footy. I probably wasn't enjoying it as well because I had a lot of media outside noise sort of coming, towards me because I wasn't performing that well as well. So, me personally, this wasn't really that patch of footy. I wasn't really enjoying it that much. I sort of lost the love a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's obviously the club. There was a lot of pressure on the club, and obviously Rats got the sack, and there's a lot going on. And then obviously when Ross got there, to be honest, I knew when Ross was coming, I was like, I'm excited. I'm ready to go again because I know how he runs a footy club, and how he works. And I was pretty excited to have him back at the footy club. And my last couple of years, I really enjoyed it, and I've been playing some all right footy. So it's been good.
Can you do a Ross impression? Because I feel like.
Control the donut.
Control the donut.
What you put in your mouth, mate? Discipline over indulgence, he always says.
Wow. I feel like he's just got a absolute thesaurus of sayings that he'd just be rolling out. It'd be like a Rolodex, just like
he's like a bloody dictionary. That like that's good.
How if you don't mind me asking, how old are your kids?
So I got a 3-year-old daughter.
Yep.
And a 6-month-old boy, so Harriet and Charlie.
So I was just thinking as you were chatting, so Dan and I are both fathers, and you mentioned before around like having the kids around means like routines just in the bin, basically, like you just cop what you cop. It's sort of like it kind of lines up a little bit with you finding your love back as well. Do you reckon you kind of giving you something outside of footy to like really put your love into, gave you a bit more of a actually I love playing?
And I just like, like when I'm not at footy, I don't think about footy. You know,
Yeah.
I just get home and as you know, they keep you busy and it's hard work that time from 5 p.m. onwards, trying to get them ready for dinner and bed and bath and
take the pressure off a bit. Footy, like footy.
I never. To be honest, when I leave a footy club, I don't think about footy, which is a good thing.
Bloody oath.
And then when you're there, you do the work, and then once you leave, you're done.
Yeah.
And the 3-year-old would sort of start to get.
There's no
get
pressure.
The footy thing as well.
I never had, like, especially in pre-season. Like, you know, some blokes still will have the pressure in pre-season, like wanting to train well and stuff. Like, I don't even think about that.
The thing I always, well, not always, but the thing I think about, you know, the family importance to Indigenous players, and I look at your family and you know, your direct relations that have played the game, like your brother. I'm talking about Josh before, Bobby, a cousin, Paddy Ryder, a cousin.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you look at that, but like, you know, I don't have any cousins or brothers or that have played the game, but a lot of Indigenous guys, like, there's like 6 or 7 teams, and there's blokes that you not only know, but like you're related to.
Yeah. Well, as you know, we have big families, and like
it's a league.
There's a lot of like talent as well, and like especially like us Noongar boys, like over in WA, there's a lot of us that have made it to the AFL, and a lot of us that are related because we come from big families, you know. So, you know, like my grandparents are one of 15, so there's a lot of you know, cousins that come from there. So
but you just find it normal that like there's a bunch of cousins playing in other teams. Like it's just not normal for everyone.
It is pretty crazy that there's four hills, you know, that have played. But yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Who's the best hill? Bobby's got it. He's young.
Yeah, Bobby's young.
So keep him out of it.
I still think Stephen. I love like the way he played. Like he was just so smooth, and he was very versatile. He could play multiple roles. Like he could go inside, he can play in the wing, he can go half back. So yeah, and he's my big brother, so I always look up to him.
Well, I think it's spot on. Like playing Freo, I played them a lot of times, and I reckon half the times we're talking about tagging Stephen Hill. Like, and how do you do it? Do you put a runner on him? You can't put Pritter on him. Like Pritter can't keep up, you know. So you put a runner on him, and he goes inside, and then the runner can't go inside. So you're so versatile, skillful, game changer. Yeah. I agree with that. Like, gun. I just always look at that family side, and I wonder if you just think that's just, you know, that's just how it is, because it's not. It's not for most people.
It goes Stephen, me, Bobby, Josh.
Where's Paddy? Where's Paddy fit?
Oh no! Oh, Paddy's up there too. Paddy and Stephen.
He was scary to come up against Paddy. Like tall, athletic. I hated playing on him. If he wanted to kick goal on, he basically could.
Yeah.
That's good.
I got to ask about a moment that's just popped up. Back in 2019, you got game recall. 2019.
Don't give him the moment, give him the round.
Round 7 against the Crows. You're playing for Freo at this point. Do you remember anything that happened in that game?
2019 round 7. Where were we playing? In Adelaide?
I actually can't tell you. I can't remember.
No, I don't have this one.
So you were playing. So 2019, you're playing for Freo. So Ross would have been your coach.
Round 7.
So I reckon this moment, like Ross may not have been overly pleased with that we're talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You gave away a 50-metre penalty for something.
Throwing grass at the on the mark. You remember that?
What happened?
That was in Adelaide.
What happened?
No, I was just trying to put him off. I think I was just a bit angry. And
what did you pull, like a clump of dirt?
No, I grabbed a bit of grass off the floor, and then as he was walking in, I threw it, and he missed it.
Who was it?
I don't even know.
It was. Is there a big full forward?
Walker, Tex Walker.
Yeah, it was against Walker.
So did you hit him with the grass?
He's probably chirping, so you know.
Yeah, correct. So. He would laugh at that. I know Tex on the side.
He missed the goal, but it worked.
Yeah, so that's 2019. What about like just career highlights overall? You played over 250 games, like milestone games, premierships up there. I don't know. Like, how do you feel about the games you've played from a milestone perspective, or is that just you're just playing and you don't worry about it? Yeah,
just playing sort of thing. But I think I've been lucky with my milestone games to win. I think both. Like I won 250 and won 200. So
good.
Been pretty lucky. So to be able to celebrate it, I guess.
How many games you got in here?
For a few. Like my body still feels good, running well. still dominating the young boys.
Contract time coming up.
I just signed 3 years, so I still got 3 more years.
Congratulations.
So I did end of last year, so I still got a bit of time left. So
that's good.
It'd be nice to get to 300. That'd be the goal.
What numbers have you worn at each club?
How fun is this? Well, mine is like first year I was 32, but then I went to 10 at Hawthorn, so that's where 10, 9, 8.
Is that right?
Slowly just
by
trying
design?
To get lower.
Nah, just what happened.
If you get to 1, there's an issue. It means you've been traded around a fair bit. 10, 9, 8, 6, 7.
I should just do that for my last few years. Just drop a number, go 6, 5.
We're gonna hoping Sonny will jump on at the very end, but you're over here to play in the Indigenous All Stars. Have you guys been able to get together before that as a group? When do the boys get over? I don't know. From afar, it looks pretty cool to be able to do this. Talk to me about it. Important. What are your feelings on it?
So all the boys get over Thursday. So I came early. I had a 4-day break, so I was able to come over on Saturday. But so all the boys come Thursday. We'll get together. All be at a hotel together. So there'll be a bit on in a couple of days. Obviously, we don't have much time together, so we'll have a little bit of. I think we'll head out to like some our primary schools that we grew up. The boys are from Perth, and we might take some boys from like Melbourne and stuff. Will come with us. I think there's junior footy clubs, maybe. Yeah. So we have a few things like a little bit of cultural sort of stuff as well. Welcome to country, all that sort of thing. When everyone gets here, there'll be a little bit jammed in for the couple of days. But I think the most important thing is just like all us boys getting together and being able to represent our people in that game. And me personally, when I get to come together with a big group of the brother boys, just how much fun we have with each other, just the stories, the laughs you have with each other. It's just like, it's the best time for sure, man, when we all get together. And to be able to, play along some of these younger boys coming through, and, a lot of these younger boys are stars of the game. So I'm pretty excited to get out there and, be on the same team as them. And, it's got to be, exciting for our people, and to be back home and play in front of the family is got to be pretty special as well.
The connection Indigenous lads have, like, I'm jealous of, to be honest. And one thing I forgot to ask about, like, playing at Hawthorn, like Cyril, who, like I said, I didn't want to talk about 2015, but he wins the Norm in 2015. Like, tell me about playing with him, because again, from afar, reminds me a bit of Willie. Like, could just do things other people couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, would that be right? Like,
yeah, definitely, yeah. And even in training, just cruise around and whatnot. So I
played on my school footy against him, and I remember playing against him and I'm like, what is going on here? Like, this kid is a freak.
Yeah, he was a freak. Definitely, like, one of the most naturally talented players. Like, and like you said, does stuff that no one else can do. So,
is he practicing stuff at training?
Nah, he just cruises around at training. No, he did nothing. And then game day, bang, it's here. It was a special talent. But like you spoke about, that connection. Even if you don't know, like you come to a club and you just sort of we sort of just come together. You know what I mean? Like you just feel a bit more comfortable, and you just sort of you just have that bond straight away.
To finish it off, mate, what's the future look like? You spoke about 3 years at St Kilda. You got anything outside footy that you're working on?
Yeah, I got a couple of things.
Come on, give him a bit of
it hasn't started. Well, I'm actually at the moment in talks to sort of start like a indigenous construction business over in Melbourne. So we've been working at that for 7 months, but we've still got a little bit of time before up and going. We haven't got names and stuff, but this
were you in gyms at one stage?
Hey, yeah. Oh, I had Pilates.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a while. Don't worry about that. But I got a few little things, and I do love the space in like working as like a Indigenous liaison officer, or sort of helping at footy clubs with the Indigenous boys. That's something I'll find pretty interesting and love to sort of do as well.
Good. Sounds like you got your hands full at home too with a couple of kids.
Yeah,
so
definitely
managing that. Mate, been brilliant to chat to you. Not quite done yet. That's enough from Dan and I, but we've got some questions for the people. So this is social media, not social, social. Yes, I thought you'd like that. Sonny likes it. This is from the people for you. This is from fans, fan questions. Don't know where this is going to go, but you ready? West Coast Magic.
What's the best Guernsey you've ever personally worn?
And we're not talking about numbers. We're talking about like... Yeah, like
To be honest, I actually love the one behind you.
correct.
Yeah, it's a good one.
The colours, like it's the indigenous colours, the flag, and I really enjoyed that one.
Very good. Brendan Burks, WA.
What's your favourite beer?
It depends on the night. Probably Carlton Draft.
Carlton Draft.
Come
Come on,
I like
man.
Can't handle it.
Yeah, I like draft. It's only normally 4 drafts, and then it's on the JDs.
Look, yeah, correct. Look, personally, we both like Shelters. They're our favourite beer and probably the only one we'd ever drink. Tristan Pearson.
Do you want me to read this?
Oh, no. Give him that. Don't give him that.
Okay.
Give it to him. Oh, okay.
Okay. What team would you least like to get drafted to?
It's just going to... just say West Coast now.
West Coast.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, that next one probably not. Tony Shaw said you'll be the captain of Hawthorn one day. Is this still going to happen?
Maybe.
Probably not. Probably unlikely. Well,
in 3 years' time.
Maybe.
From Mitch Harvey 3.
How have you found?
We've asked that.
Okay.
Come on, you can take some.
Okay. This is from Kelsey. If
Yeah.
you could play one game again from your career, which one would it be and why?
Maybe my first game, so then I didn't turn it over and let West Coast win. No, to be honest, I played in those big games. Like you love to go back, and even like now that I'm older, sort of like going back there and just sort of like remembering that day and enjoying it. And I did enjoy it, but like just taking my time a bit more, being a bit more present.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's not over yet, mate. You got opportunities. Jaiden Akers 11.
Who's the worst teammate to travel with on the road?
That's across all teams.
Michael Walters.
Is that right? That doesn't surprise me.
That's easy.
This is from Holly Fernandez. What's your weirdest fan interaction?
I don't know if I should. I don't know what this getting. There's been a few.
Right.
They're a bit. Yeah.
We can leave it at that.
Jet Hartman 15. I reckon got to put it to him.
When will the Saints win a flag?
Hey, come on, mate. Relax now. Hopefully in the next 3 years while I'm still there.
Good. I like it.
Very good. All right, last one from Tappy95. How does Bradley like his eggs? Sincerely, the Eggman.
Oh, you need them runny. You need those things runny. Poached, runny, eggs.
Is that right? That's good. That's a bit of a lot of fried scramble going around.
No, not me.
Mate, thank you very much. Hopefully that was painless.
No, it's easy.
Great hearing your story. Great chat to you. And thanks for joining us on BackChat. A big thank you to Paywise, our major partners, ID Athletic, Whippersnapper Whisky. Sounds like we might need to get some of that over to you. Mamba Digital, TABtouch, Shelter Brewing Co, Leadable Precinct, On One Services. You can find everything at backchatstudios.com.au.
Great.
That's Brad Hill, everybody. Thanks,
Thanks,
mate.
guys. Thanks for having me.